this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. Just so long as I'm the dictator.
That's just how white folks will do it. I'm Barack Obama, a Marxist professor. I spent the last 2 years of high school in a daze. I drank beer heavily and tried drugs enthusiastically.
I inhaled frequently. That was the point.
If you think the girls of Girls Gone Wild are raunchy, wait till you get a load of these politicians.
I am Long Dong Silver. I'm Long Dong Silver.
It's the all-new animated comedy NeoCons Gone Wild. Come and see these freaks as they really are. Take a stroll through the Rose Garden with Dick and W as they encounter Barney the dog.
Hey, look at Barney. See what he's doing? Don't you wish you could do that?
I already tried, Uncle Dick. Barney bit me on the back of my head.
Come to the Poorhouse Bar for cocktails and conspiracy.
The American people are the dumbest people on the face of this earth.
Hang out with Bush Sr. as Madeleine Albright sadistically whips Condoleezza Rice.
Don't whip Condi so hard. I want her to fry some chicken.
See Ann Coulter as she really is, a deranged transsexual serial killer.
She could make some horses I know cry.
It's NeoCons Gone Wild!
Is everybody ready? Okay. I'm going to convene the hearing of the CTV Review Board. I'm Lewis Crossley. I'm the chairman of Community Television of Knoxville. Immediately to your right is Beth Waters. She's all these people are on the board of directors, have been appointed to the review board. Next to Ms. Waters is Jason Clabo, and directly across from you is Jackie Lane. The purpose of the hearing today is to review the February 4, 2009 letter of determination that the staff at CTV issued to you, Mr. Lee. In that letter, the staff focused on the January 26, 2009 producer agreement that you signed. I think Mr. Vogel has a copy of that. We would like that to be made part of the record today. In that producer agreement form, there was a representation that the videos submitted for cablecast would not contain material that is copyrighted or subject to ownership by others without obtaining the necessary permission from the owner, and the producer agrees to provide the evidence of that permission. There's also a representation in that producer agreement form that any video submitted would not contain more than 10% outside the programming content. In addition, the producer agreement form prohibited the promotion or mention of any website that was owned by a for-profit company, organization, or individual. The letter of determination found a breach of those representations. The general manager concluded that Community Television of Knoxville would not cablecast any future programs submitted by you until you could provide evidence of the permission of copyrighted material observed in the cablecast of January 31, 2009. The general manager further concluded that once the permissions were provided, that any future show submissions would need to be submitted 21 days in advance in order to allow for staff review to ensure compliance with the 90% local content requirement. The members of the review board, I believe, have all viewed the January 31, 2009 episode in its entirety. They have reviewed the letter of determination that the staff sent out. Let me ask you this, Mr. Lee. What portions of the termination letter you hear challenging today?
First of all, I'd like to ask, are you an attorney?
Yes, I am.
Okay, are you an attorney for CTV?
No.
Okay. Have you written me any letters? I can't recall who.
I
thought an attorney wrote me a letter.
You responded to his request.
I may have
last
responded
time.
as
for the first appeal,
the chairman of CTV
right.
to your request for postponement of the hearing, and I told you I think that we would allow you to postpone the hearing from when it was scheduled.
So I'm confused. Is the CTV board part of the CTV nonprofit 501c3 corporation?
Yes, the board of directors is the governing body.
And that's appointed by the county commission and the city council?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I dispute everything in that letter.
Okay. We're going to allot you 30 minutes to make your presentation.
And I object to that because I need more time for due process.
How much time do you think you need?
I don't know. I'm going to whip through it as fast as I can. We've stipulated that the contract is here. The letter from the determination is in the record. The video is in the record.
Yes.
And I would like to ask, have all the members seen the entire video start to finish, about 2.5 hours?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if it had been cut off after an hour.
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to initially allot you 30 minutes. I certainly don't want to
I would love to get through it.
Don't want to cut you off if we are staying on point and making progress. So let's see where we are at the end of 30 minutes. At the end of your presentation, members of the review board may ask any questions of you. I'm not going to participate in voting. I'm here simply to help the hearing move along. At the end of any questioning and answering period, the review board will deliberate and then will announce their decision.
Now, as members of the review board, are any of you all paid from the grant that the $800,000 a year grant that CTV gets from the taxpayers?
These are all volunteer positions.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure.
Any other questions about the procedure we're going to follow today?
Who is the plaintiff and who's the defendant?
This is really not a plaintiff and defendant case.
Or who will be later on. I mean, does that make me the plaintiff because I'm appealing?
Well, no. I don't view you as a plaintiff. I view you perhaps as an appellant because you are appealing a decision. Mm-hmm. There's no adverse party. There's no one here prosecuting.
I'm just wondering, once, say if we get into Chancery Court, who would then be the plaintiff and who would be the defendant?
I'm not going to.
Of course, it would depend, I guess, who loses and who appeals.
I'm not going to try to give you legal advice.
Yeah, who goes first is what I'm asking today.
Today, you're the only one that will make any sort of presentation. They have read Mr. Vogel's letter. They have looked at the tape. There's no presumptions that attach to Mr. Vogel's letter.
So he's not going to stand up and enter any evidence
or anything else.
Now, has the board read the complaint against me filed by Jennifer Atkins? Have you all read that complaint?
I have not. I don't believe it has been furnished to them as part of this hearing.
Is it possible to get them a copy? I can read through it.
Packet. Did you go through that?
That's what started this whole thing.
I read the complaint from Ms. Atkins. It didn't make it clear that it was against you.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was more towards CTV.
Right.
Directed.
Yeah, it was against my show, Obama Coronation.
Yeah, yes.
And that's what started. 4 days later is when I get the letter from Mr. Vogel. Suspension. Okay. Let me just review this real quick with you then. This was sent by the email contact form on the CTV website. I don't know. I guess it just goes to whoever reads the emails, and Mr. Vogel got it. This was sent Saturday morning While my show was only halfway over at 1:46 a.m., it says, "Are you aware that at the 1 a.m. Saturday morning, your station was showing a cartoon which showed animated U.S. presidents having sex, Dick Cheney wearing a Nazi armband, severe cursing, naked women, basically an animated porn? I'm very upset with this program choice. I have contacted Comcast to make them aware. I'm certain that I was on your station, that I was on your station because I have a DVR and was in such shock I rewound it for my husband. Immediately after this obscene program, a normal shot of the sunsphere appeared. What is going on at your station? Please protect our community from such filth."